Leona Lewis' life changed completely after she won the X Factor in 2006, achieving Christmas #1 with her cover of Kelly Clarkson's A Moment Like This. Prior to her fame, the star waitressed at Pizza Hut, with no idea she'd eventually sell over 25 million records, be nominated for 6 Brit Awards, 3 Grammys, and would win 2 MOBO Awards, reports The Mirror. Following her X Factor win, she was signed to Simon Cowell's Psycho record label, but has since parted ways. Now the Bleeding Love singer has forged a whole new life in Los Angeles, where she lives with her husband Dennis Joch and 1-year-old baby. Here, we take a look back at Leona's successes and her latest business venture, which she describes as disruptive. Leona's debut studio album Spirit became the 4th best-selling of the 2000s, and lead single Bleeding Love spent 7 weeks at UK #1. However, in 2014, the 38-year-old announced her decision to leave Psycho after falling out of love with the record label. "Simon Cowell has been incredible, but at the end of a day it's a huge label now," she told The Independent at the time, adding that there was no love in it and she felt in limbo. The songwriter landed a new record deal with Universal and later explained that there was no bad blood between her and Simon. "Simon sent me a really lovely note the other week saying they miss me at the label," she added. "There's nothing but love there. He knew I had to leave. He was upset about it, but it was time for something new, so I'm excited about moving on and doing something different." In December 2021, the singer squashed feud rumors, insisting her and Simon's relationship remains good and describing the music mogul as a big supporter. Speaking on The Jonathan Ross Show, Leona said, "It was an amicable split, we're still good, we keep in contact, he checks in on me, I check in on him." Meanwhile, Leona admitted that she believed it was the best decision to axe the X Factor, revealing that she'd struggled with self-doubt after being catapulted into the limelight. Leona said, "It was bound to happen at some point and I feel like it was the right time. We are in a different day and age now, with streaming and all the different platforms that we are on, there is so much out there. Everything has to evolve and move on and we can't stay static. We have to go with it and embrace it, it was time." Despite all the success she's had in her career, away from showbiz, she began suffering from an array of health issues that led to her being diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease in 2017. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition that affects the thyroid gland and causes chronic fatigue, nausea and pain, which left Leona struggling with day-to-day life. "I was feeling very sick and had chronic fatigue and these really bad pains in my neck and throat. I didn't know what was going on. It was a pretty hard time," she wrote in an essay for Glamour. She believed the illness was linked to her busy lifestyle and exposure to chemicals used in beauty and hair products. She stopped straightening her hair and made numerous other lifestyle changes. "When I was first diagnosed, I was absolutely devastated, I felt very scared and alone," she said. "I could hear my body telling me that I needed to slow down. I also started to feel tired during performances. I began taking medication but also turned to Ayurveda, my mum is a master herbalist, to help heal my body naturally. I just got to a point where I wanted to start over physically and emotionally. I started eating better and I stopped straightening my hair." As for her personal life, Leona made the hard decision to split from childhood sweetheart Lou Alchama in 2010 and then met choreographer and creative director Dennis on her Labyrinth tour. In July 2019, she married the German dancer in a Tuscan vineyard, telling OK! magazine before the wedding that Dennis is her rock. "We're so ready to do this. Dennis is the most kind, considerate person I've ever met," she gushed of her man, who popped the question during a holiday to Puerto Rico. The pair have owned a series of multi-million properties, and in November 2019, they made the decision to sell their £1.8 million ranch in Glendale, California for a £2.9 million home in Los Angeles' famed Hidden Hills. Proving her relationship with Simon Cowell is still going strong, she sold the house to the music tycoon in 2020 and lives in Studio City in a £2 million mansion. Leona previously opened up on her plans to have kids, once admitting she was unsure. "I do want children, but Dennis and I have also talked about adopting. My mum grew up in a children's home. No one adopted her as a child, and I would very much like to adopt. But I'm still figuring things out. If it was up to my husband, we would have had kids yesterday." Fans of the star were left delighted when she announced the pair were expecting their first child, and last August, Leona revealed the birth of their daughter, Carmel Allegra. She shared an adorable picture which showcased a partial view of the newborn's face as she cradled the tot, who was wearing an adorable light pink onesie, and held onto her hubby's hand. She captioned the post, "And then there were three. Our little Carmel Allegra arrived 7.22. Nowadays, Leona is the proud owner of a vegan coffee shop in LA Coffee and Plants in Pasadena, which she set up 3 years ago. The star now has plans to expand her booming side hustle, opening another site in the Studio City neighborhood. "What I tend to do is focus on what we can do. My husband and I actually opened a coffee shop with sustainability at its heart, so for every few cups that we sell, we plant a tree. We're partnered with the National Forest Association. And all of our stuff is recyclable," she said earlier this year. Leona, who has been a vegetarian since she was 12, and vegan for the last 7 years, wants to lead by example for her child. She said, "Her parents made a real effort to make me feel comfortable as a vegetarian, and that's something she hopes to pass down to Carmel, who she calls Coco. For me as a mum now, obviously I am conscious and aware and trying to do my part as best I can," she explained. "As parents now, everything is amplified and we think to ourselves, okay, what are we passing down to Coco? When she's older, is she going to look at us and be like, what did you guys do? What has happened?" It definitely makes you more aware, for sure.